Good morning and welcome to the garden half of my Coop Garden arrangement. We're going to talk today a little bit about the jungle I have growing in this garden. It's a garden because I do get produce and flowers from it. It's a jungle because just look at it. So the mistake I made this year was that for the first time in my whole entire gardening career, my garden is completely predator free. I have the wire up across our heads. I have wire on the sides. I have wire dividing the run from the garden. And although you can't see it, a foot down, there is hardware cloth. So wire a foot down. The other thing that's happening in my garden that I don't know how much I had previously was I have a lot of pollinators. I keep a beehive, and the bees absolutely love to come into this garden. And who wouldn't? Look at all of these blossoms I have for them to enjoy. And there are also pollinating plants like sunflowers, zinnias. So it's quite an attractive place to be. But because of my limited experience and my limited success in the past, I might have gone just a tiny bit crazy. And I might have overplanted. And I had, interestingly enough, a lot of volunteers. So, for example, this little bed here, little tiny bed, was big enough for 4 short rows. So I did 3 rows of onions. I did those from seeds. So the fact that they're still there and happy and doing great makes me so happy. And then on the wall there, I planted cucumbers. Not very many, maybe 3 or 4. I also had a volunteer, well, actually 3 volunteer tomatoes come up. I don't know where they came from. I had volunteer basil in this tiny, tiny bed. So I pulled 2 of the volunteer tomatoes and put them in a bucket, and they're growing over there. They haven't died, but they also haven't produced anything. And I left this one. Well, that was probably a mistake because it's obviously out of hand. But look at the cute tomatoes that it produces. Look at those. Aren't they adorable? Okay, red plum, I guess, because over here I have the yellow plum that I really love. I have these, this is the Sweet 100s, and believe me, it produces so many tomatoes. I picked this morning already. I pick when I'm in here every time because it produces like crazy. Then I have the Sun Gold cherry tomatoes, and it is taller than me, which is amazing. Okay, I planted that one though. But then over here I have another one. If you can see that down there under the bean vine that just volunteered. It now has blossoms. I don't know where that came from. This is another little bed. It has basil, sage, a blackberry vine, tons of beans, lemon thyme, and rosemary. So many things. So many things. I just went crazy. I did not have, well, I had a plan, but I just thought that I could do a lot more in the space because I've never had any success before. But things like the zucchini that I pulled out the other day, there were 4 zucchini plants here. 4. I pulled out all 4, but they did produce pretty well for a long time. But why would I put 4 zucchini plants there? Well, originally I planted 5 zucchini seeds. Seriously, I only planted 5 seeds because I thought, it's a small space. I don't want too much. But when 4 come up, I have a hard time pulling them out. The same thing here. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 watermelon plants. I planted 7 seeds. Okay. These I planted from starts, the watermelon. So, oh, I'm sorry. I said watermelon, but I meant pumpkin. These I planted from starts. So, the watermelon, um, they're doing well though. So, look at my soil. Yuck, right? A lot of clay, a lot of sand, a lot of rocks. And I was recommended by a longtime Tucson gardener to use this Organic Plus. So that's what I'm using, and it seems to be going great guns. Now, you can't throw seeds into Organic Plus, even though that's what that looks like, where the pumpkins are, but that is actually Organic Plus half, and then Tucson soil half. I remove as many rocks as I can, but you can see I don't get them all. And then it works pretty well once I've done that. Um, but I do need to amend the soil. I mean, the sand and clay isn't very conducive to good gardening. Okay. So what is my plan for my next garden? Well, it is certainly to do less plants in a similar space. So when I move over to the other side in January, when I let the ducks and the chickens move here and take down this garden, and I move over there and take over their run, they will have given me beautifully fertilized soil over there after a year over there. And I will also add some more Organic Plus, but I won't have to do as much. And I will have a very good plan for not overplanting the garden, because I certainly overplanted the garden. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day. I know that I'm not the best photographer. I'm working on that. Hopefully I will either have some help photographing, but I think you'd be interested in this. If you are a desert gardener, it is tough. And so the things that I've learned have been really helpful to me, and I hope it'll be really helpful to you. All right, let's say goodbye. Say goodbye, George.